of the show where we talk about physical confrontations. And of course, I always have to say the Jimmy Martinez clause. No murder allowed in this story.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
That is correct.
One day this podcast will be submitted as evidence.
Oh,
An
it
episode of this
absolutely will.
podcast will be played in a courtroom.
I warned him
swear to God.
beforehand, don't say anything incriminating. He says, no, I keep it real. And
I believe his words were, I don't give a fuck about incriminating. And then
Yes,
he
I keep it
incriminated himself.
Is that one behind
And
the
then what
paywall?
happened? Yeah, get
maybe
behind
it
the
is.
paywall.
It might
Get
be
behind the
now.
paywall.
Not yet.
it
Is
might
that
be.
yet? Oh, I'm downloading it for sure. I'm excited.
Let's go listen to that.
Wait,
Okay.
did you just say you're not going to listen to an episode because it would be behind our paywall?
Yeah, I still don't know the password you guys gave me. I haven't signed into the site once.
Bobby's out there. I'll reset it for you.
That's good.
Okay, so we'll start first with you this time, Christina. A fight
Physical
story.
altercation. So the only I dream of the day that someone just like does something so bad that it makes a lot of sense for me to punch them. The only God, I never punched anybody.
But you really want to.
Oh yeah, for sure.
May have some rage issues.
I saw. I've called 911 on a lot of people in New York City, probably like 20, because they're either bleeding or they're punching somebody in the face.
I'm not attacking you, though.
Never me, but I'm always like, oh, I got it.
I love how you said that, like, always a bridesmaid.
I know. No one ever
Never
wants to
me.
hit me. One time, when I was in college, I went to a bar with a group of friends, and one of the friends, we were all broke, but one of the friends brought in airport bottles of liquor, and he went to drink. One of the bouncer, who was like one of those that has a power trip, was like yelling at him and then yelling at me because I was his friend, and I was like, dude, okay, he'll put it away, it's no problem. And then he pushed me like onto the back onto the couch, and he was this huge guy, and it was awesome because everyone in the bar, it was a crowded bar, like looked at him and was like, fuck you, man. And then they went to like beat him up, and I was like, I'm just gonna go. So I just snuck out. That's really, I don't have a lot. I have, when you get to the ghost thing, I have some stories, but for this one, I also.
Did they actually, like, get on him at all? Was there physical contact?
Yeah,
Wow.
there was, and I got the fuck out of there because I usually run towards a fire or like something terrible that's happening. But that one, that guy was very tall.
you would have
pretty
stayed
great.
and watched, right?
I would have stayed to get his number.
Yeah.
Can you do that at 60%
Yeah,
right here?
Yeah,
And at 10 o'clock. That's so, you had to have, like, left and felt kind of, like, badass that, like, all these people had your back.
yes, but I've heard when you get in a car accident and when you do get like punched or something. Like hours later, you feel the shock from it. And all this guy did was push me, but I've never had a man, especially he was like probably 7 feet tall and huge. I've never had a guy push me, and so hours later, I was like, that was really scary.
Oh yeah,
For,
your
like, a minute.
parasympathetic nervous system is just
It caught
jumping
up.
out of your body. Yeah,
Yeah.
you feel like you ever see cats freak out and they can't do logical movements?
Yes.
That's how you
Yes.
feel on the inside. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep.
Oh, my God.
I mean, I've had so many physical altercations; it's ridiculous. I fist fought my dad when I was on steroids. He threw the first punch. It was his biggest mistake of all time. He's like 6'2", 265, and we were in an argument about college and cost and all this stuff. And my parents were going through a divorce. All my friends were dying. It was a nightmare. And so my dad came over in the middle of this fight and like tried to throw an uppercut.
Oh,
and
my
I just
God.
slammed down, dead armed his forearm, and then like. You know in Three Ninjas when they hit that like body bag and the lights light up?
Yeah.
I literally saw that and I just outfield crow hopped and punched him right in his fucking giant Irish St. Bernard head. And he just flew back like 9 feet, and I ran out of the house and didn't come back for like 3 or 4 days. I went to Villanova where I got arrested for underage drinking. And then
So you had a bad day.
it was awful, and so I have pure panic from that, from getting the arrest. It's a $685 ticket
God.
plus they were like, we're mailing a copy home, all this shit.
Oh fuck.
And so I have a panic attack. That happened on Thursday. I end up going home early on Saturday after calling that town's office to say, like, you don't have to send the other copy home. Like, I got the copy. It's totally fine. Thinking as a kid I was outsmarting a fucking municipal court.
Like, hi, this is Mr. Cannon.
Yeah. Hello, this is Kevin. Like pretending to be my dad. So I don't stay the extra night until Sunday because I'm having such bad anxiety. I drive home that Saturday, and my mom is like waiting on my driveway holding a FedEx. They overnighted. They overnighted the ticket because they knew I called, and she's like tapping her foot like fucking Sonic, waiting for you to play again. And I walk in, and she's like, "What the fuck? $685?" And I played basketball at the time. This is also when I was playing poker, but I didn't have a job because I was playing basketball as a student.
She opened your mail?
She opened the mail.
Technically, that's illegal.
You're right, but I was living under her house, so
True.
you know it's negotiable.
Yeah.
So she flips out. You don't even have a job. What the fuck are you gonna do? We can't pay for college now. You're getting you're drinking. And I ran upstairs because I was playing poker. I grabbed $10,000 in cash. I ran downstairs. I fanned out 700, and I go, "Keep the change, you fucking bitch." And my mom goes, "What the fuck? Are you a drug dealer?" And like all proud, I'm like, "No, I'm a poker player." She's like, "That's worse." And
How's
I'm
that
like,
worse?
I mean, well, I was in really sketchy situations with like mob-run establishments, and at the time, a lot of these
course.
places
You
were
really-
getting robbed with M16s.
Really
Yeah.
evened out, Cannon.
Crazy.
Damn.
I know. Now I'm like much more even keel. But my dad, she's like, "Kevin, get over here." Blah, blah, blah. You know, all this shit. My dad walks over, sees the stack of cash, and is like, "Well, now you can pay for college on your own. Fuck you." And just walks back into the kitchen. And I'm like, that was the end of that.
Wow.
Classic Irish. Then 20 minutes later, we're like, "What are we having for dinner?"
Yep. Yeah.
Never talked about it again. Yeah.
Wow, Mike.
You have any brothers?
Huh?
You have brothers?
No, 2 sisters. I'm the only guy. Middle. So it evened out my
So that's why you had
importance.
to fight your dad because you didn't have a brother to fucking fist fight with.
But I did fist fight my sister when I was
Nice.
when I
How'd
was
that go?
younger. I mean, she kicked the shit out of me when I was a kid.
She's older?
She's older, yeah,
Yeah.
4 years. But
Okay.
she beat the shit out of our neighbor, who's like a big guy, and she's 5'3", like probably years
What?
like she's a tiny
my
girl.
God.
And my neighbor like was picking on me, and she beat the piss out of him outside as an 8th grader, and he was a 6th grader, but he was
Nice.
bigger than her. And but then we had argued. The last time I hit her, I was 9, and I almost killed her. Like, because
Wow.
she hit me really hard, and I uncorked on her face. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"This is it, ding ding," and I hit her.
There's a lot of violence in your family, man.
So much violence. And this is like the funny stuff.
I did not know this about you.
So then but I hit her so square. We lived on like a split ranch, I think is the type of house. So they have like the upstairs, and then it's like double stair down into the bottom.
Yeah.
And she hit the railing and like stumbled, like for a brief second stumbled as if she was gonna fall, and I like grabbed her. And that was the last time I ever.
Really?
fucking-
Truce.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm 9. I'm clearly too big for this. I can't punch you in the face anymore. Until last week.
my pregnant wife.
They get lippy, they get lippy. What are you going to do?
Well, you can't punch your wife in the stomach right now.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
She got into a fender bender
So
last
true.
week, and some fucking white trash whorebag threatened to beat her up. And she
my
was like,
God.
"I'm pregnant." The lady screamed, and then kind of calmed down. But I showed up, and I was about to fucking.
So I belted her.
Yeah, I know. I was about to beat the brakes off of some broad on fucking Fulton
Beat the
Ave.
brakes off with some broad on Canal
Some real
Street.
jail talk.
I know. I'm sorry. I've been watching this goddamn female prison show for the last 3 hours.
Watching jailbirds in the lobby.
Shannon's wet.
Yeah, nothing gets me like female jail people.